Hello and welcome to the Los Angeles Coliseum for international football. Costa Rica against the Soviet Union, the third place playoff for the Malboro Cup. One of the giants of world football against an emerging nation. The Soviets will go to Italy this summer for their 7th appearance in the World Cup finals. Costa Rica will be there for the first time in their history. In the previous games in this tournament, the Soviet Union lost on penalties in a disappointing display against Colombia after a 0-0 score at 90 minutes. Costa Rica fared even worse, surprisingly beaten 3-0 by the Mexican club side Chivas Guadalajara. The referee for this match, Angelo Bratsis from the United States, and both his officials are also American. Viktor Chanov will play in goal for the Soviet Union, who've strengthened a strong squad of players for this tournament, and make just one change from the team which played Colombia. Newcomer Svabia replacing the injured Bezanov in defence. Soviets looked a little bit lethargic, I thought, in the opening game. Remember, they're in the middle of their midwinter break, and I'm sure they'll be keen to do an awful lot better today. Marvin Obando, who lines up at number 5 in this Costa Rican team, the same team, in fact, which lost to Guadalajara, and just about their strongest lineup. In the last Marlboro Cup, they beat the United States of America 2-0, then lost to Uruguay by the same score in the final. Conditions pretty unpleasant, really. There's been an awful lot of rain, and the pitch is rather heavy, and one or two bare patches down either wing, as you can probably see from your pictures. The Soviet Union playing in a chain strip today of all white instead of their normal red shirts and white shorts. Costa Rica are in the red jerseys with the dark blue shorts. And the Soviets attacking in this first half from left to right. Ball played out early to Zigmantovic. And the throw in to the Soviet Union, who you may remember won their World Cup qualifying group, which also included Austria, East Germany, Turkey and Iceland, and lost only once in those matches. Cayasso playing the ball forward for Costa Rica, but Kuznetsov with the interception. And a rather clumsy back pass then by Luzny. He was lucky he got away with that. Chanov coming out of his goal to collect. This is Luzny again. Number 3, Kuznetsov. And a good little return ball to Litovchenko, but the interception by Obando. Kuznetsov forward again. And well won indeed by Protasov. Luzny coming up from the back again. And Zigmantovic playing the ball in finally, and not a bad effort. And Corneo had to be very sharp then in the opening seconds of the game to respond as Protasov prodded the ball forward. One back again by Kuznetsov. And number 9 for the Soviet Union is Cherenkov, who's just been voted, incidentally, the Soviet Footballer of the Year. Litovchenko. That's a useful little ball as well. Kept in play by Luzny. And not the best cross. And finally helped out to Cayasso on this near side, but then won back by Yaremchuk for the Soviet Union. Luzny seeing a lot of the ball in these opening stages. And the header back towards his own goal by Garo, and he got away with it just about. Really is a remarkable achievement by Costa Rica to make the World Cup finals. Their country has a population of less than 3 million. They've always been eliminated in the qualifying stages in all the previous tournaments they've entered. Most of their players are only semi-professional. They all, or virtually all of them, have other jobs. And their professional league, such as it is mainly comprised of overseas players from other South American or Central American countries. They really are one of the minnows competing in Italy this summer. So it'll be interesting to see how they do against the Soviet Union, who, remember, were runners-up in the last European Championships and are traditionally one of the very strongest teams in world football. Throw in to Costa Rica. The ball now on the right-hand side with Medford, who's one of the star players in the Costa Rican team. And he wins another throw. Chavaria coming near for him, but it goes in instead to the near post, cleared by Kuznetsov. And back in again to the number 14, Cayasso. Now on this near side, Diaz. And Chanov had no problems collecting that. Svabia coming forward for the Soviet Union. A good, strong run by the 23-year-old who's only recently come into the Soviet squad. 5 is Zigmantovic. Now Kuznetsov. And helped back by Cherenkov. And one back by Cayasso for Costa Rica. Garo just helping the ball back to Luis Foneo, who played in all 8 World Cup qualifiers for the Costa Ricans. They actually topped the CONCACAF qualifying section with 11 points, the same as the United States of America, but they had a superior goal difference, and therefore they went through as group winners. The United States qualifying as well, of course. Soviet Union looking promising here. And good play by Rats. Rodionov is on the left. But his header rather weak and never really presenting a problem to the Costa Ricans. Sergei Rodionov. I was saying the Soviets had sent a strong squad here, but remember their new season doesn't start till April, and their overseas-based players, some of their more famous players, the likes of Dasayev and Kiryatulin, Zavarov, Belanov and so on, who are all playing for top clubs in Europe, mainly Italy or Spain or West Germany, were not released for this tournament. So it's not the strongest Soviet team, but it's certainly the best of their home-based players. Good work by Diaz for Costa Rica, now Cayasso. One back by Zigmantovic, but not cleanly enough. Kuznetsov helping it back to Viktor Chanov in the Soviet goal. Good throw to release Yaremchuk down the left. And that's a good run by Yaremchuk. He's done really well here. Just took it a little bit too far. Neat play by Medford. This is Cayasso again. And good work from Cherenkov. And the Soviets already look a lot more interested in the opening stages here than they did in their first game against Colombia. Number 9, Cherenkov. Good run then by Protasov. And the challenge was enough to deny him a real sight of goal. Scored a couple of times in the World Cup qualifiers for the Soviet Union. Ivan Yaremchuk with the corner. First of the game to the Soviets. 7 minutes gone. 0-0 the score in this third-place playoff here in Los Angeles for the Malboro Cup. Kuznetsov on the near post, but headed away strongly by Obando. And the shot came in through a crowd of players and really could have gone anywhere at all. There must have been 6-7 players between Chanov, rather Kaneo, and the Soviet player. I think it was Vasily Rats who hit the ball, and really deflections could have taken that in any direction. The goalkeeper relieved to see the ball go wide. It was indeed Rats. And the Soviets really keeping Costa Rica penned in their own half in these opening minutes. Here's Rats again. Nice little ball for Rodionov. Back it goes again. And the shot well blocked by Obando. Kuznetsov with the rather ambitious effort from, what, 35, 40 yards. One of the most experienced players in this Soviet team, Oleg Kuznetsov. Luis Coneo, the Costa Rican goalkeeper, as we see a reminder of the score, 0-0. We've had now nearly 9 minutes play, and it's mostly been dominated by the Soviet Union. That was a good turn by Zigmantovic. Kuznetsov helping it on. Laid back by Protasov. Yaremchuk is on the far side. Kuznetsov. Zigmantovic. Luzhny having to chase to keep it in. Protasov now. Number 9 is Cherenkov. Well, Costa Rica at the moment just cannot break out of their own half, as Vabia rather clumsily hits the ball back. And Viktor Charlov just telling him to calm down. He's the new player, Vabia, replacing the injured Bezanov, and you can't really expect the Dynamo Tbilisi player to settle immediately into the team, and I think he showed his anxiety then. He's anxious to please, of course. And he's given away a corner needlessly. Costa Rica's first of the game. Headed clear by Kuznetsov. Back in again by Kayaso, and nobody quite got a grip of that loose bouncing ball. Finally cleared upfield by Zigmantovic. One back by Garro. And that's a throw in to the Soviet Union. Number 17, Hernan Medford, who at 21 is the exciting young talent in what is generally a rather experienced Costa Rican side in terms of years anyway, if not international football. Their average age not far short of 30. Free kick against Kuznetsov. The American referee, Angelo Bratsis. Headed away by Zigmantovic. This is Luzhny. Not quite sure what the referee gave there. In fact, he gave a free kick when he surely should have let the Soviets play on, as Protasov was in possession. And ironically, they now give possession away. Cherenkov the culprit. Good work by Medford again. The number 8 is Chavaria, but played it the wrong side of Coronada. Now Luzhny for the Soviets. Still 0-0 here. Good play by Cherenkov now. But he wasted it with the through ball. Chavaria. Still 0-0. 12 minutes gone. Kayaso in possession for Costa Rica. A good little ball down the line for Garro, and he in turn keeps it moving on sweetly. This is a good build-up by Costa Rica, and they quite deservedly get a corner out of it. The ball finally played in by Medford, off the shins of a Soviet defender. And Costa Rica, well, you get the impression if they had a little bit more belief in themselves, they might do rather better here. They started very apprehensively. Good corner. Oh, that was a splendid save by Charnov. And indeed, Costa Rica might well have gone in front then. That really was a good effort. And Charnov had to be very aware of the danger. A cleverly taken short corner when everyone was expecting it played in first time. And the downward header by Chavaria to the near post, well saved by Charnov. Well, that will encourage Costa Rica no end. And it's certainly a word of warning for the Soviets. In possession now with Protasov. Well, good ball. Vodinov's header just wide. Well, Rodionov wasted a couple of good opportunities in the match against Colombia. And he won't want too many more misses of that nature today. This may be only a friendly tournament, but it's a prestigious one, and of course the players on both teams are really playing for their World Cup places, particularly the Soviets, who have a much wider choice of players to pick their World Cup squad from. Off the top of my head, I can't remember what the population of the Soviet Union is, but when you consider that less than 3 million people live in the whole of Costa Rica, I should think there's probably that number in the suburbs of Moscow alone. So in terms of the sheer size of these two countries, there's no comparison whatsoever. Good run forward by Cherenkov, and the shot eventually wide. Little stoppage while one of the Costa Rican defenders just reties his bootlaces. Crowd getting a bit anxious that time is being wasted here. The referee's quite happy. Well won by Svabia. Free kick being given to the Soviets. In possession now with Zigmantovic. On the right is Luzny. Corner prevented. It was Roger Flores, the captain, who kept the ball from going behind for a corner. Litovchenko's cross, rather too close to goalkeeper Coneo. Bit of a musician, this guy. He plays his own guitar and writes a bit of music as well. Throw into the Soviet Union. Kayaso couldn't reach the ball. Oh, Protasov was dumped to the ground. That was a good challenge. And then played forward cleverly by Coronado. But Medford couldn't reach it. Good defending by Svabia. And here he is again. Rodionov on the left. Cherenkov. And Cherenkov was fouled. It's a good little ball down the line for Cherenkov as well. And a decent looking cross. Litovchenko was lying in wait and it eventually comes to him. Throw into the Soviet Union. The ball won back by Obando. And now Luzny. And now Yaremchuk. A shot straight against his own player as it happened. It's a good ball for Litovchenko from Kuznetsov. Again, Obando's in the way, but Litovchenko tries to go the hard way round him. And Obando finally wins. And gets the ball clear a second time. But won back well by Kuznetsov. Dangerous little cross. Oh, and the effort by Protasov. Well, he was always leaning back and didn't produce the textbook shot by any means, but it was a good build-up. Kuznetsov playing it in flat, and the ball just clipped back for Protasov to shoot, but it was always too high. Lively start though to the game, and certainly the Soviets looking a lot keener to get involved than they did against the Colombians. Kuznetsov wins it back, but out on the left Medford is fouled by Yaremchuk, so a free kick to Costa Rica. There's Lobanovsky, the always grim-faced Soviet manager, or coach as they prefer to call it in the Soviet Union. Now Protasov for the Soviets. Not a great deal of support forward here for Rodionov. He had to hold it up, but now goes for the return and is dispossessed by Obando. Coneo has won 32 caps for the Costa Ricans. An enormous kick. Kuznetsov was underneath it, but didn't really get it away very cleanly. Won well by Zigmantovic. That's a good ball too for Yaremchuk on the left. Good tackle though by Garo. And a nice little ball forward as well for Chavaria. Bit greedy really. He had players better positioned that he should have laid the ball off to. And Sfabia's clearance earns Costa Rica a throw-in. 20 minutes gone. Costa Rica 0, the Soviet Union 0 here in Los Angeles in the third place playoff in the Marlboro Cup competition. Both these teams, remember, will be in the World Cup finals this summer in Italy. Soviet Union in the group with Argentina, Romania and Cameroon, based in Naples and Bari, and Costa Rica, well, the World Cup draw was certainly not kind to them. Spectators enjoying themselves in trying to retrieve the ball. But as I was saying, the World Cup draw certainly hasn't been kind to Costa Rica. They are in with Brazil, Sweden and Scotland, and that's just about as difficult a group as there is this summer. Here's Kuznetsov for the Soviets. Turned back by Litovchenko, but rather poor. Obando got it clear. There's not room enough for the turn then for Diaz. Flores forward. Garo on the right. Chavaria has gone in support, although it never reached him. Medford, the player, brought down, but only a throw-in to Costa Rica. Medford there again, and this time he does get the free kick that I thought he deserved in the first place. So approaching the midway point in the first half, still no goals. Ball cleared by Svabia. And an overhead clearance by Obanda. Surely it's offside, and indeed it is. Viktor Charlov not happy with how quickly his defenders move forward then, but they certainly got the offside decision they were looking for. This is Luzny. Kuznetsov. Luzny again. Now Zigmantovic. Luzny's gone on the overlap on his right. Look for Rodionov in the middle. Kuznetsov with the wild shot for the second time in the game. Chavaria was the player who blocked him. And Kuznetsov a little overconfident in his ability to shoot from that kind of range. So Garo gets Costa Rica moving forward again. Kayaso. Kuznetsov seems to be everywhere though for the Soviets, defending and attacking. Cherenkov loses out to Medford, who ran straight into trouble. Then Kuznetsov playing the ball quickly down the left. Yaremchuk forward. Now Cherenkov. And when the Soviets regain possession, they're extremely good at keeping it. Good play by Litovchenko, under pressure from Medford. And he's still got it. And still, splendid play by Litovchenko. But when he turned it back, it was just too deep, really, for Yaremchuk. But here's Luzny. That's a foul. Oleg Luzny. And the referee just telling Enrique Diaz to calm down. No question that that was a trip. And a dangerous position here. Litovchenko didn't quite know what to do with it, and finally the shot buried straight into one of the defenders in the wall by Yaremchuk. Well, that must have really hurt, straight in the midriff. Can't quite see who that is. It is Roger Flores, in fact, the captain. And he'll take some minutes to recover from that, because the ball was hit with fearsome force by Yaremchuk, and Flores took the full brunt of it. Not quite sure the goalkeeper's rather amateurish bit of physiotherapy is going to have the desired effect. But just watch, he's on the right of the wall here as Yaremchuk hits that one left-footed, and smack, straight in the, well, I suppose in polite circles it could be called the groin area, but whatever you call it, it was very painful. And the skipper looks none too keen to carry on instantly, but play is underway again. Zigmantovic, dispossessed by Medford, but he wins it back again. Now Kuznetsov for the Soviets. Good little ball for Luzny. Litovchenko a bit slow, but he has the throw. Flicked on by Protasov and then cleared by Garo. Free kick to the Soviet Union. Litovchenko in possession, but the referee wasn't happy the free kick was taken from the right place. Now he's allowed play to go on. And the ball pulled back to the edge of the area, and that was mighty close. And Kaneo complaining, I think, that the marking was a bit sloppy then. Cherenkov spotting the opening, pulled the ball back well behind the first player, and it was Zigmantovic who came on and hit the shot wide and should have done better. So still 0-0, 27 minutes gone now. But it's already been a much better game than the whole of the 90 minutes between USSR and Colombia. Much livelier game. Pace a lot quicker. Protasov with a little layoff. Turned forward by Rodionov, and that should have been a goal, and hit the underside of the crossbar. So both teams have been desperately unlucky not to score. And the Costa Ricans can count their luck then, because hit from that distance at that kind of power, in 9 situations out of 10, that shot would have produced a goal. Almost struck too well, if you like, because it was hit with such power. It thumped the underside of the crossbar and out to safety. Oh, that's good play by Big Diaz. And he gets it back. But not for long. The Soviets in possession, but Diaz seems to be attracted to the ball like a magnet at the moment. And not a bad little ball down the line for Medford. Throw into Costa Rica. Foul by Luzny on Diaz. Kick will be taken here by Camacho. And a useful one as well. That could really have gone anywhere. And I think Charnov was complaining again that the marking was a little bit sloppy. Now, I think we're seeing the build-up at the other end to the shot that hit the crossbar. Indeed we are. And just look at that. Onto the underside of the bar from Zigmantovic and away from danger. So twice in a matter of minutes, the same player, Andrei Zigmantovic, has been clean through in the Costa Rican penalty area. The first time he hit the ball wide, the second time he hit the bar. And here goes Soviet Union again, but good play this time by Garo to win it back. Half an hour gone. Costa Rica 0, the Soviet Union 0. Throw into the Soviets. Luzny will take it. Back to Zvabia. Kuznetsov. Zvabia again. Kuznetsov. Well, they're not making much progress, but they are keeping possession. That's a better ball, and well read by the captain, Roger Flores, who then wins the free kick. Kayaso, dispossessed by Rodionov, and in turn he gives it away. Garo on the right now. Little ball forward for Obando. And rather a wasted opening then by the Costa Ricans. And suddenly the Soviets look very dangerous on the counter-attack here. Rodionov's in the centre. Protasov with him. Good challenge though. A very important one too by Marchena. Hector Marchena, the number 19, with a vital interception. Nil-nil then. Kayaso in possession, and good play by the strong-looking midfield player. What a waste then. He gave it straight to Litovchenko. And the Soviets a little fortunate to get that ball back. An appeal for offside, not given. Turned in by Rodionov. Rather a weak effort as well by the number 11. Medford couldn't keep it in. Soviet throw. One back by Garo. Medford. Chavaria. Diaz. Well, he hit it quite cleanly, but Charnov fielded it with contempt, really, didn't he? Zigmantovic, who could well have made a name for himself with 2 goals already at this stage, but missed both times. Rodionov on the left. And he's certainly had a disappointing game and a half so far in this tournament, Rodionov. So we're in the 34th minute of the match, and we await the first goal, but there could well have been a score at either end of the field. A fine save by Charnov earlier on, and then a bad miss in the intervention of the crossbar. And that looked like a foul on Coronada. And indeed the referee agrees. As you'd expect, most of the support here in the Los Angeles Coliseum is for Costa Rica. A lot of expatriate South American and Central American people living this part of America. Foul on Coronado then. Free kick to Costa Rica. And Coronado himself just making the instructions and telling his teammates what to do here. Oh, it's a good shot. In fact, it's a splendid goal by Cayasso. What a free kick that was. Well, you'd have to go a long way in the world to see that better. A magnificent free kick by Juan Cayasso, the Costa Rican Footballer of the Year. Bent it over the wall, and Charnoff could only see it hit the back of the net. He hit that beautifully. You have to fault the goalkeeper, but when the ball is hit as perfectly as that, well, no wonder Charnoff was wrong-footed. A superb goal, and Costa Rica with their tails up now, leading by 1-0. Well, Cayasso's got a real reputation for scoring goals. He was a key man in midfield for his club team, who won the championship last season, and he scored 14 goals from midfield for them. Deportivo Saprissa. And that really was a splendid effort. Here's Rats now for the Soviet Union, absolutely rocked by that goal. The Soviets have had most of the play, but Costa Rica have occasionally looked dangerous. And now the Soviets turn to look dangerous. Zigmantovic, Litovchenko. Looking for Rodionov on the far post, but a bad cross. So, 10 minutes to half-time. Costa Rica in front here. And that will give them enormous pleasure to score against one of the leading club teams in the world, and to score a goal of such quality as well. Costa Ricans have already said that they know their chances are remote in the World Cup this summer, but they aim to do their best to honour the name of their country. Very proud people in what is, by all accounts, a beautiful and very peaceful country. Many parts of Central America are better known for their rather turbulent politics, but Costa Rica enjoys an excellent reputation, both in terms of its hospitality to visitors and the calmness of its people. And it'll be a great summer for them, seeing their favourite sport, football, displayed to the world at the highest possible stage. And if they can get Cayasso in a position to hit free kicks like that, who knows what they could achieve. Charnov certainly was totally caught out by it. 1-0 to Costa Rica. Luzny for the Soviet Union. Zvabia. And Costa Rica win it back again. Oh, that's good play by Cayasso, the goal scorer. It looked to me as though he was fouled then, but the referee's given the throw to the Soviet Union. Turn forward by Zigmantovic. That's a good ball as well. Oh, but what a disappointing shot at the end of it by Rodionov, who really cannot seem to get it right, to the delight, no doubt, of Caneo. Well, there's an awful long way to go in this game, of course, but it really would be some result if Costa Rica could get a victory over the Soviet Union. Remember, in the first game here in this tournament, they actually lost 3-0 against a club side from Mexico, Chivas Guadalajara. But they're playing above themselves here. Luzny for the Soviet Union. Good play by Cherenkov. Now Zvabia. And he'll get it back. good football from the Soviets, but it's not that productive in the sense that they're not really hurting Costa Rica. They're not getting at them where it matters. As Yaremchuk is brought down. Free kick. Swung in towards Rodionov. Well met though by Cayasso. He seems to be on the end of everything now. Coronada forward. Bad ball. Rats coming forward. And Yaremchuk goes down and looks as though he should have had a penalty in his view. And instead it's Costa Rica who get a free kick in the centre circle. Injury to Marchena. I'm sure that was Marchena, not Garro, as the caption showed. And Charnov comes out to collect. Rats for the Soviets. It is Marchena, and he's able to continue, albeit he's still limping. As Zigmantovic lays the ball off. And Rats with the effort, well wide. Nice little layoff from Zigmantovic, who's getting a lot of freedom, I must say, in the middle of midfield. 5 minutes to half-time then. Costa Rica leading the Soviet Union by 1-0. The goal coming in the 34th minute. A splendid free kick from Juan Cayasso, appropriately the Costa Rican Footballer of the Year. Protasov in possession for the Soviets. Oh, he let it run on to Zigmantovic, and then his shot, finally, by Cherenkov, was deflected behind. And as long as Zigmantovic continues to make these penetrating runs from midfield, he was the man that Rodionov tried to pick out then. He missed it for once. And the shot by Cherenkov deflected away for a corner. But certainly Zigmantovic creating a lot of danger. And surely Costa Rica will have to employ a player to pick him up in the second half. Rats finding Svabia. Too many players for the shooting opportunity to open up. Litovchenko with the cross. And well cleared by Diaz. Rodionov will keep it in. Little chip forward and then a wild challenge. I think it was Flores, the captain. And Yaremchuk, free kick. And that was a better tackle by Cayasso this time. But still the ball breaks for the Soviets. Headed clear by Diaz. Cayasso there again. Soviets claiming it was their throw, but the referee was ideally placed to say throw to Costa Rica. And the pattern of the first half continues with the Soviets enjoying a great deal of possession here, but not always looking that clever in front of goal. We're into the final stages then of this first half, and it looks as though Costa Rica are going to go in with the tremendous psychological boost of a 1-0 half-time lead against the might of the Soviet Union. A world of difference between these two countries in every sense, particularly a football sense. But it's Costa Rica who are in front. And there, in fact, is the whistle. Is that for half-time? It is. And Costa Rica will go off enjoying a 1-goal advantage. That magnificent goal by Cayasso from a free kick. Well, Lobanovsky never looks happy at the best of times, but he looks decidedly grumpy. We'll be back with all the action from the second half.
Hanley, Lydon, Gregory and Bell. 4 stars in the Central Park Galaxy. We follow the stars with Wigan. Weekly on Screen Sport. Thursdays at 6.
You'll get a better idea about DIY when you fly down to do it all. A better idea how to coordinate colour, how to mix and match paint. Take away a free wallpaper sample to hold up at home. Choose fabrics in peace. Find all your accessories attractively displayed together. Do It All can supply you with everything, including the ideas.
You won't believe it till you view it. I'll do it all, do it. Then you can bet you'll be doing it as well.
Sleepy to Elijah-Wan, right at the buzzer.
Huntel present the complete NBA on video. Your team, your superstar, week after week in action. The Los Angeles Lakers, the Chicago Bulls, the Boston Celtics, any team you want. Plus the NBA Thriller of the Week, complete and uncut, all on one giant 3-hour tape. Original commentary, original excitement. In the mail only days after the action in the US. Order 6 weeks and get the 1990 All-Star Game, plus the Gatorade Slam Dunking Championship, free as a bonus. After 12 weeks, you will also get the NBA Guide. 550 pages packed with NBA history, stats, records, pictures, and NBA rules. Weekly tapes are only £6.99 plus £1 postage. Order as many as you like, cancel any time. To watch your favourite team in the NBA, Major League Baseball or college football anywhere in the world, call the Worldwide Sports Hotline today. In Dusseldorf, 494601.
You're tuned to Screen Sport, a member of the ever-growing European Sports Network. Screen Sport brings you the very best in sport, 18 hours a day during the week and non-stop at weekends. The best soccer, the best boxing, the best golf, the best motorsport, the best American football. It's all here on Screen Sport, so stay tuned. We have the choice.
Welcome back to Los Angeles for the second half of Costa Rica against the USSR for the third place playoff of the Malboro Cup. What a magnificent goal it was that separated these two teams at half-time. Juan Cayasso scoring from a free kick, and a beautifully struck kick it was. Costa Rica perhaps a little fortunate to go in at half-time with that lead, but a goal of that quality certainly deserves to decide any football match. Bent over the wall. They couldn't have done anything about it, the defenders there, although Charnov will be disappointed in his contribution, I think. And it's Costa Rica in the red shirts against the Soviet Union all in white, who start the second half. The Costa Ricans now attacking from left to right. And certainly they had their lively moments in the first half, Costa Rica, although in all honesty, as Cayasso, the goal scorer, is on the ball again, the Soviet Union had much more of a play. Having said that, in the opening seconds, Diaz nearly found himself with a clear shot at goal. So the Soviets I've had fair warning that possession may be 9/10 of the law, but it's not necessarily 9/10 of winning a football match. And for all the openings they created, it was the Costa Ricans from much fewer openings who scored, and probably went closer to scoring when Charnoff produced a very good save early on in the half. 1-0 the score then to Costa Rica. Soviet Union win it back. Flicked on by Yaremchuk. Now Rodionov. Number 9 here is Cherenkov. 5 is Zigmantovic. Yaremchuk. And Kayaso couldn't quite win it back. Rodionov. He really has a nightmare game, Rodionov, and he didn't play any better against Colombia. I would have thought if there's any man whose place is under threat here, it's the number 11 for the Soviets. One back by Medford, and the referee says it was a legal challenge. Kayaso just couldn't find room to get the shot in, and in the end the shot that did follow was well off target. Chavaria, the 30-year-old midfield player, he's actually been watched by a couple of the leading clubs in Spain. Cadiz and Malaga have thought about buying him. Luzhny for the Soviets, who trail 1-0. Kuznetsov. Svabia. That's good play by Costa Rica. They're keeping the Soviet Union in their own half, forcing them backwards. Kuznetsov now. Long ball forward, headed clear by Camacho. Yaremchuk. Zigmantovic. That's a good ball. Luzhny on the right. In first time towards Rodionov, and Protasov nearly got there as well. Cleared by Marchena. Now Coronada has given it away. Rats for the Soviets. Litovchenko. No substitutions, incidentally, made by either side during the half-time interval. Yaremchuk's cross. Rather too deep, and one back by Diaz for Costa Rica. Rather an aimless clearance, though. And Kuznetsov deals with it with ease. Coronado, the player he dispossessed. Now Rats for the Soviets. Zabia going forward, and it's a good little ball he's played as well to Cherenkov. Soviets have started very determinedly here. Now that's rather too deep a cross to give any problems to Costa Rica. But the pattern of the first half already being continued. Yaremchuk beaten, but the Soviets win it back. Rats turned on again by Zigmantovic to Rodionov. Rodionov again. Well, he laid it off when he really ought to have been thinking about a shot. Here's Rats. Turn back for Luzhny. Rats again. Oh dear, a disappointing end to what had looked a promising build-up. Obando in possession now for Costa Rica. Didn't really want the ball played back to him there, but at least they get a throw-in out of it. And a wild sort of clearance by Diaz, and an even wilder effort then by Marchena. And the Soviet Union come forward with Cherenkov. Now Yaremchuk. Rats. Litovchenko with the shot. That was a good effort, well saved. Although he couldn't really hold on to it. Coneo. Good effort though from that range. Corner kick quickly taken. Yaremchuk in possession. Rats. Rodionov in the centre. The shot well blocked, and still the danger. And Caneo kept calm, and indeed gets the free kick. Good little spell, though, by the Soviet Union. The good efforts on target. And that shot well blocked. And so was that. If you've got enough bodies in the way, then it makes it very hard to get a clean shot at goal. Referee just sending them back to where the throw-in should be taken. Yaremchuk on the halfway line. Not a good throw. He's given possession straight back to Chavaria. Garrow on the right. Medford couldn't keep it in. Turned on by Medford this time to the left-back position, where Chavaria has come forward. Now Medford again. Tried the little 1-2. He's been a bit disappointing today, though, Hernan Medford. The man upon whom so many World Cup hopes rest with the Costa Ricans. He's the one they feel could really blossom on the world stage. Still, Costa Rica leading by a 1-0 here. Rats in possession for the Soviet Union. Svabia. He's played quite well, actually, the stand-in defender. This is Cherenkov. Still going on, Cherenkov. And he did well. Lobanovsky must be at least pleased with the start his team have made in terms of the amount of possession they've had, although that was very similar to the way the first half went. And they lost that, so to speak, by a 0-0. Here's Rats. Litovchenko forward. Good little ball. Now Rodionov in space again. Well, he hit it straight at the goalkeeper, but in fairness to Caneo, he had to respond and did so immediately. But again, Rodionov is the player who finds himself in a scoring position and wastes it. Although that was a good save. So the Soviets threatening to pull one back here with all this pressure. An appeal for offside, but not given as Yaremchuk turns it back in again. Danger here, and quite happy to head behind for a corner. Diaz. Rats with the kick. It's a good-looking one as well, and the goalkeeper didn't really know what to do, and Cherenkov missed a good chance then on the far post. The ball bent in, and it really made defenders and goalkeeper alike indecisive about the best possible action to take, and Cherenkov was presented with a good opportunity which he scorned. So we still have that 1-0 scoreline to Costa Rica. Coming up to 10 minutes gone now in the second half. Bit of pushing then, surely by Kuznetsov, but the referee waves play on. Chavaria in possession. Forward by Flores. It's a nice ball as well. Diaz. Turned in towards Medford. Oh, it just bounced a little bit too far ahead of the player just beyond Medford, which was Coronada, and he accepts that he ought to have done better. Rats switching play from left to right. Luzny. He's had a reasonable game as well, doesn't he? And he did well then to find Zigmantovic. Litovchenko in support. Zigmantovic still out there on the right. And his prodded cross has earned... No, it hasn't earned a corner. The Soviets thought they'd got one, but a goal kick is the decision. Rodionov again, the player that the Soviets decided was their target man. Rats getting in ahead of Medford, but Medford prepared to chase, and in the end he was fouled. Or is the referee giving it the other way? He has indeed. He says that Medford fouled Yaremchuk. No, when it's all sorted out, he has indeed given the free kick to Costa Rica. So a bit of confusion there about the official's decision. And I'm sure the right decision is the outcome. Flores with the kick. And Charnov was very positive. Yaremchuk. Svabia. Helped on by Cherenkov. Protasov, who's had a quiet game. Rats. Now Yaremchuk again. Not a good cross. Easily met by Camacho. Cayasso, the goal scorer. Diaz. Ooh, well, it was an optimistic effort by Diaz, but somehow or other it reached Medford, who was not the intended target. That was a shot, I've no doubts about that. Still 1-0, Costa Rica lead. Cherenkov for the Soviets, dispossessed by Chavarria. Forward from Cayasso, Kuznetsov's header. And the whistle is gone, and the free kick, I think, to Costa Rica. Cayasso will take it, but even he might have a problem finding target from here. This is an awful long way out, as you can see. He's going to have a crack all the same. Buoyed with the optimism of his first half effort on target. But really, that was a waste. Winning his 28th cap for Costa Rica tonight, Juan Cayasso. And his goal still separates the teams. Just about a quarter of an hour gone now in the second half. Still Costa Rica 1, Soviet Union 0. Luzhny for the Soviets. Medford now for Costa Rica. And then turned on by Coronado. And he's done well here. Just too many Soviet defenders around him in the end. Camacho's headed clearance. Finds Diaz on the left. It's a good-looking ball, and that looked like a little nudge on Rodionov. Well, no wonder Rodionov isn't happy with that. I'm sure he was fouled as the ball was played to him. He carried on playing, and then I think it just went over the line. Now what's the referee given? Well, I think he decided that the Costa Rican player stole a yard or two, so the throw-in has gone back to the Soviet Union. Litovchenko's shot was a splendid effort. Well saved. And Kaneo has looked very sharp in the few moments that he's been troubled by the Soviet shooting here. The ball brought down well there by Litovchenko, and a good effort. Garo. And turned on again by Garo. Now Yaremchuk. Rodionov forward. Protasov, he ran straight into the defender. And the defender played the ball back a little bit too firmly for his goalkeeper's liking. But they get away with it. Free kick has been given, I think. Foul by Kuznetsov. Quickly taken by Kayaso again, and Medford turned and got in the shot, but there was no power at all behind it. Now Yaremchuk. Rats. Luzny. And he gets it back from Zigmantovic, but couldn't control it properly. Play switch back to Yaremchuk on the left. Cherenkov forward. That's a bad ball. Good interception by Obando. Back it comes though to Rodionov, to Protasov rather. And the cross only half cleared. And play a little scrappy at this stage. Kuznetsov beaten. This is Medford. And that's a good little ball by Medford. No offside given. It could be a goal here. Well, the goalkeeper Charnov is furious. Coronado missed it anyway, so his anger is in vain. But I think I would agree with him then that Coronado looked yards offside when it was chipped through to him. I think he was also furious with his own defenders for allowing Coronado to get away like that. And, well, if he'd have been a little bit calmer and cooler there, Coronado, he would have given Costa Rica a 2-goal lead. As it is, it's still 1-0. 19 minutes into the second half. Now Cherenkov finding Kuznetsov. One back again by Yaremchuk. Kuznetsov. Luzny. This is Zigmantovic. Now Litovchenko. Nice little turn by Litovchenko. But a bad ball at the end of it. And substitution about to be made by the Soviet Union. Igor Kalivanov, who's only 21, and they say the future star of Soviet football has replaced the sadly out-of-form Rodionov. So number 14, Kalivanov on for Rodionov. Can't say I'm surprised at that. I think Rodionov's done well to last out as long as he has. 65 minutes just about gone. Diaz, and the referee has said that Diaz was a little bit dangerous then in attempting to win that high ball. Free kick to the Soviets. Not a good ball at all, and Obando able to reach that with no hurry at all, but then gives it away. Svabia, Kuznetsov. Forward by Cherenkov. Chipped into the middle to Protasov. And Yaremchuk. And still Yaremchuk, and in the end he lifts it high over the bar. And they're just not really looking sharp enough in front of goal, the Soviet Union. They've had so much of the ball in this game. To think they could easily have been 2 goals down. As it is, they're 1 down. And with misses like that, they're going to find it hard to get back on level terms. Midway through the second half, still Costa Rica lead by a 0-0. This is a Zigmantovic for the Soviets, who just pour forward in great white waves again. Luzny. Useful looking ball by Luzny. Ooh, that was a mistake that could easily have cost Kayaso dearly. He headed it back without really looking where his goalkeeper was. But what luck has been going Costa Rica's way here. They conceded the free kick this time though. Luzny forward again. Litovchenko down the right. Klivanov couldn't collect it. Litovchenko shot. Oh, that's a splendid goal. And the Soviets have equalized at long last. Litovchenko firing the ball along the ground and finding the corner of the net for a well-deserved equalizing goal. The header down by Chavaria, straight to Litovchenko, but what a sweetly struck shot that was. It went in off the post. Gennady Litovchenko, who was top scorer in the World Cup qualifying group for the Soviet Union with 3 goals, has got them back into this game. Costa Rica won, the USSR won, and in all honesty, you can't complain that the Soviets don't deserve it. Now it'll be an interesting test of Costa Rica to see whether they can keep their composure here and get back into this game again. They've conceded a lot of territorial advantage here, and now they've conceded a goal. Here's Protasov. Good interception by Diaz. And Coronado in space again. Well, he didn't look. He just played the ball forward without even looking up, really. That's a spring in the step for the Soviet team now. They all want it. This is Yaremchuk. Oh, he's done well. A decent little cross, and again Costa Rica panicking a little bit when the ball came over. Luzny. Klivanov. Foul. No question about that by Obando on Klivanov. And the substitute eager to get in the middle for the free kick. Costa Rican supporters giving their team full support, even though they have now just seen them concede a goal, which makes it Costa Rica 1, USSR 1. Vasily Rats for the Soviets. Litovchenko, the goal scorer. Luzny on the right. Good turn by Cherenkov. Back it goes to Luzny. Now to Rats again. That wasn't a good ball. Oh, that was a rather unpleasant tackle. And they'll certainly get a free kick out of that. And Yaremchuk will certainly have felt it. Zigmantovic, good ball forward. Oh, a smashing turn by Protasov. The defender fell, which helped things for him. And the shot by Yaremchuk blocked. And Costa Rica now have tired, they've run out of ideas, and they don't look anything like as effective as they did periodically in the first half. And they've also got an injury to complicate matters even more. And this is how it happened, I think. Zigmantovic turning the ball to Protasov on the edge of the area here. Watch as he turned. Oh, yes, you could see how the defender's leg twisted underneath him. No player near him. No question that it was anything other than a horrible accident, and that will have really badly injured his knee, I would have thought. Marchena, as his studs stuck in the ground, his leg went one way, his foot went the other, and that'll be a pretty nasty knee injury. And obviously they'll have to bring on a substitute now, and Mauricio Montero is the player who's stripped off and ready to come on. Tough defender with 30-odd international appearances to his credit. And that could be a bad injury for Marchena. And a complete accident. I hope they know what they're doing. At the moment they're looking to make it even worse for him. So, a lot of support for the Costa Rican team, but they're up against it now. The Soviets getting stronger and stronger. Kuznetsov. Yaremchuk. And well won back by Chavaria. Diaz, fouled. And they still haven't brought the substitute on, Montero. I can't see any way that Marchena can come back into this game. He looked in such pain when his leg collapsed underneath him. And the other players seem to be indicating that they'd like to see the substitute come on. They're down to 10 men at the moment. Garo with the throw. And now, just out of the picture, Montero has indeed come on to replace the injured Marchena. Well, spectators, some of them from the United States who won't have seen too much football, seemingly enjoying the game. And with that young lady for company, why not? Free kick to the Soviet Union. They're really in the driving seat now, and it seems to me only a matter of time before they score again. I can't see how Costa Rica can hold them at bay, because they just can't get out of their own half. Charnov able to come midway into his own half to win that ball. That's an indication of how much the Soviets are on top. Zigmantovic drives forward, crashing tackle. Flores says, look, I won the ball, but the fact that he took the man a split second earlier is rather more relevant. Zigmantovic playing the free kick in quickly, and the goalkeeper perhaps is the best reason why the Soviets aren't back into this game with a vengeance, as poor Marchena goes off, still in a lot of pain. Sure, that'll be a very nasty injury. Soviet Union anxious to get on with it quickly now. They want to win this. They want to finish Costa Rica off. Luzny on the far side. The goal scorer Litovchenko in possession now. A decent looking ball. And it's in. Cherenkov has scored, and the Soviets have taken the lead. A goal that seemed to come from no sort of cultured build-up at all, and that's in stark contrast to the way the Soviet Union have played throughout this game. They've been very, very patient in all the build-ups, but when the second goal came, it came almost from nothing, and Cherenkov just had the easiest job in the world to tap it in. So Fedor Cherenkov has turned a 1-goal deficit into a 1-goal lead. The Soviet Union now leading Costa Rica by 2-1 here. And with less than a quarter of an hour to go, Costa Rica have just made a second substitution, as you saw. Ronald Marin coming on for the midfield player Chavaria. Marin will be wearing number 18. And there he is, just at the bottom left-hand side of the picture. So 2-1 now to the Soviet Union. And there is Ronald Marin. And here is Yaremchuk, who's played well. And bursts into the space now. Zigmantovic there with him. Luzny gets it back from Litovchenko. Nice little flick to Yaremchuk. Under pressure here from Montero. And the Soviets have certainly tried hard in this second half. And they've had their reward. And the Soviet Union themselves are to make a substitution now. Viktor Tatarchuk coming on for Yaremchuk, who's played very well but run himself into the ground. 24-year-old international with only a couple of appearances to his name. And another substitution, in fact, Tishenko, number 12, on. So the Soviets make two substitutions straight away. Zigmantovic and Yaremchuk, the two players who've gone off. Tishenko and Tatarchuk, the two who've come on. So a flurry of substitutions, at the end of which I hope we've still got 11 aside, and we have a 2-1 scoreline for the Soviet Union over Costa Rica. Here's Medford. I think we've seen enough today to know that Costa Rica will entertain in the World Cup, but they're just not strong enough to survive against the teams that they're in there with. Brazil, what a thought. Sweden, one of the best nations in Europe. And Scotland, who have a very consistent record of getting to the World Cup finals, though they never do themselves real justice in the final stages. But I'd be very surprised if Costa Rica can get away with anything other than 3 defeats against those nations. Their achievement really is in reaching the World Cup finals at all. Cayasso, the goal scorer, just gets the ball in the face. And the long ball forward being chased by Flores, the captain, but he just about got there in time to block the cross from substitute Kalivanov. Corner it is. Cherenkov, scorer of the second goal, will take it. Headed clear by Obando. In again from Cherenkov, and Obando is there again. This is the substitute, Marin. And not a good introduction to the game for him. Interesting to see how the Soviets do in Italy. They did so well, of course, in the European Championships. Thoughtful, tactically superb team with some very good individual players. Scored a lot of spectacular goals. Got all the way to the final, where they were beaten by that inspirational Dutch side. But the Soviets are a team that no one really relishes playing. They always put up a very solid and consistent performance, and occasionally they can produce the touch of brilliance needed to beat even the best teams in the world. That'll be a very entertaining group they're in, with Argentina and Romania and the Cameroon. And it looks as though the Soviets are going to be confirmed as the official third-place team in this Marlboro Cup tournament, despite that rather testing back pass, which Viktor Chanov produced a mouthful of abuse to Kuznetsov, who tested him out. Perhaps he thought he hadn't had enough to do in this second half. Remember the final of this tournament between Colombia and Chivas Guadalajara of Mexico, and you can see that game here on Screen Sport. Have a look out in your own local listings to establish exactly when it's going to be shown. Different times, obviously, in different places, but it should be an entertaining final. Colombia, remember, the team who beat the Soviet Union in the first match, albeit on penalties. I must say, if the Soviets had produced the kind of football they've produced today, then I very much doubt that Colombia would have beaten them. Offside against Klivanov. Costa Rica going forward now, more in hope than expectation, I think, with Montero. Well, that was an interesting moment as Medford went crashing to the ground, and an angry little reaction between Medford and the Soviet defender Svebia. The referee had a long look at the incident and didn't really show a flicker of emotion, when I think Medford felt he might have had a penalty out of that. Well, that could have been interesting if we'd had a penalty in the final few minutes of the game. Although really, on the balance of play, the Soviet Union will be deserved winners if they hold on to their 2-1 lead. Ball turned back by Luzny. Vasily Rats. '17 is Tatarchuk. And he gets it back, he'll try a shot, no. Good little ball instead to the other substitute, Klivanov. Perhaps he should have been a bit greedier. And it comes back to him again. Well, that was a foul. Free kick to Costa Rica. Montero, the player, fouled by Cherenkov. Well, there's not long now for Costa Rica to rescue this game. Cayasso, whose magnificent free kick in the first half gave them the lead, remember. A well one back. Marin. Cayasso. And the shot in the end by Camacho, testing Chanov, but it was always going wide of the target. Tatarchuk, one of the 3 Soviet substitutes, have been introduced. Oh, good play by the Soviet Union. Cherenkov pulls it back, and that was good defending. It looked for a moment as though the Soviets were going to score what would have been a match-clinching third goal. It was a lovely little build-up. Cherenkov finally pulling the ball back, and the defender got there ahead of the forward, despite the Soviets' claim that they might have had a penalty there. Although indeed it looked for a moment as though the referee might be thinking about that. There's some confusion out there as to what exactly the referee has decided. And it looks to me as though he has indeed given the penalty. Klivanov going down in the box. A lot of Costa Rican defenders suddenly surrounded the referee, and he has indeed decided that that was worthy of a penalty. So Protasov steps back with a golden opportunity now in the dying minutes of the game to make it 3-1 to the Soviet Union and put victory beyond all possible doubt. Oh dear! Well, that was a shocking penalty by Protasov. It really was. For a player of his ability and reputation, that was pretty appalling. He did everything wrong, leaned right back and skied it well over the bar. That was pretty awful. So a bit of drama here in the closing stages. But in the end, I don't think it'll really matter. Or will it? As Coronado plays the ball back in again. The shot produced a brilliant save by Chanov, so it might have mattered. Chanov has the ability to look thoroughly disgusted with his teammates whenever danger threatens, and it did then from Montero's shot. Good tip over by the Soviet keeper. And a very important one, because there isn't long to go now. Medford with the corner kick. Chanov's there again. Well met. It's astonishing the way Costa Rica have been in with the hope of saving this game, and they could have been dead and buried just a couple of minutes ago. Protasov's rather bad miss from the penalty spot. But the outcome is that Lobanovsky has seen his team win the match by 2-1 and win it deservedly. Viktor Chanov had to produce that fine tip-over save at the end. But really, the USSR thoroughly deserving their 2-1 victory over Costa Rica. 3 fine goals, which we'll see in a moment once more. And remember the final match in this competition, Colombia against Guadalajara of Mexico. You can see it on Screen Sport. Check just when. As the Soviet players go off, content in the knowledge that they've officially finished 3rd in this tournament, let's see a brilliant Costa Rican goal and then the 2 by the Soviet Union, which eventually won them the match.